Hey logo designers, this is Michael, and today we are looking at another devlog for the upcoming Adobe Illustrator Extension logo package Forge, which helps you organize your fonts in Illustrator and then generate lots of logo concepts using those fonts. We are still in the midst of getting everything done for the logotype section of the extension, the features around generating logotypes. But just as a recap for those of you who are new, this extension shows you all of your fonts and allows you to create sets and group those fonts however you want. So I have a set here called New School, and there's just kind of some modern fonts in here. And I have Old School, and there's some serif fonts in here, and then handwritten. So you could do this by client if you wanted to. You could do it by look and feel, concept, industry, whatever you'd want to do. And then you can generate logotypes using these sets. So if I go to handwritten and I go to our logotype setting here and I just write have fun, then I can make logos, and what we'll see is that the words have fun get generated in all of the typefaces that I have in that set. But you see here that we've just generated all, 8 of these fonts with the words have fun. Okay, so let's get into what is new today. Again, we're in the logotype section, and what I wanted to show you was that we can add multiple lines and then justify those lines. So right now, you see that we have a left-aligned option for the text, a centered, which the icon is wrong here, that shows justified, but this is the centered option, and a right aligned option for the text. But today I want to talk about justified. So let's add a new type line. And I'm just going to say that first line is company name. And then I want to treat the second line as a tagline, but I want to see what that tagline would look like justified so that it's the same width as company name. So I'll just put in a fun tagline here. We make a lot of things. So now what I'll do is you'll notice that as I started typing on that second line, or in fact just added the second line, then I get this new alignment option here. This alignment option is justified. So I will select justified and I will go to the New School fonts. Actually, let's make the company name all caps. However you type in the letters for any particular type line is how it's going to get generated on the artboards. Okay, so now we have another set of logotypes that was created, and you can see that both lines of text are going to be exactly the same width, and this can allow you to see briefly, what it might look like for your logotype to be locked up with a tagline. That's the justification setting. Obviously, we can add as many lines as we want. Like I could do something like world's greatest dad. And let's say we want to see that in Old School. And if I make these logos, again, this is with the justified setting. And this is something that's very common that people want to check out with their typography when they're doing creative typesets or when they are looking at logos that have multiple words and they're going to stack them up. So you can see, again, dad is the shortest word, so it's going to be the biggest in the justification. So this is the justification setting. And now I want to show you that we can change the colors for these different lines. So every line of text has a color option. So let's just do something like, let's take greatest and we can change that to blue. And let's take dad and we can change that to red. And I'm going to go back to handwritten and I'll make logos. Now we're going to have different colors for each one of those lines. And this is helpful if you're making a logo and you want to have the tagline be not as important in the hierarchy. So maybe it's gray or it's a lighter color, but really, you can use these color settings to achieve whatever look you're going for. So now you can see that we have all 3 lines in the correct colors that we had chosen. And everything is getting scaled up to match our margins or padding inside the artboard as well. So it should keep things nice and clean as we start to look at all of these different variations that we're creating. So that is justification and color settings. In addition, we have implemented the tracking and gap settings. Let's delete some of these lines here. So let's do company name. We'll add a type line, just put something like tagline. Actually, I'm going to do this all cap as well. Tagline goes here. So we have our tracking settings. So what this is going to do is it's going to apply spacing across the entire line of text. So I'm going to set this up to something like 100. And then we have our gap setting. And the gap setting is going to determine how much space there is between our multiple lines of text. So tracking is across one line of text and gap is the space between two lines of text. So let's just make this something really noticeable so that we can take a look at it. This will always be in points. Points is the default measurement unit for Adobe Illustrator. So I'm not going to mess with the colors or anything like that. Let's go to New School. I'll make these logos. So you can see as these logos are coming in that now we have a completely different letter spacing than in our previous company name example. And also that we have a greater amount of space between those two lines of type when we compare to, our first company name options over here. And now we're looking and we see that there's going to be 40 points of space between these lines, and there has been tracking applied to the text that we have input. To recap, the progress that we've made since the last devlog was that we have implemented justification, where multiple lines of type will automatically be sized up to the same width. We have implemented colors, so you can change the color of the text on each line. And we have added the tracking and gap settings, which are going to allow you to have finer control over the letter spacing and the line spacing for the type concepts that you are generating. So that's it for this devlog. I'm hoping that by the time we do our next devlog, you'll be able to start seeing some of the advanced sort of font pairing settings that we're working on, as well as hopefully including some logo marks in these generations. So stay tuned if you want to keep up with how development is going, and thanks for watching.